Fellow students, this is no time to celebrate. We are about to lose one of the greatest privileges afforded to any group of people on the planet, being students. Think about it. Being a student is the greatest scam in the world. For a mere $50,000, you are fully permitted to ask absolutely any idiotic, offensive, prying question to anybody on earth, as long as you follow it up with, "I'm a student." It's called student immunity, and there's at least a side note mentioning it in every international treaty ever written. And that's just a start. You also get free admission to museums, cheaper food at restaurants you'll never be able to afford, and discount ticket prices all over the place. I guess you can always say you're a student of life, but they'll still make you pay $9, and they'll look at you funny. Also, you can always get away with doing incredibly inappropriate things, saying that you're just a college student trying to find yourself. Let me tell you about my inappropriate, uncalled for act. I'm an advertising creative. So what does an advertising creative do when he sees thousands of people paying attention to something? I'll tell you what. He sells media space. So after running it by a few people and getting final check on it, I put up a posting on eBay, asking anybody interested to get a full valedictorian endorsement for 30 seconds to fork over some cash. With proceeds, of course, being donated to a scholarship, specifically the Patricia McCarty Scholarship for Marketing. It was one that I received myself when I was here from Carol Timberlake, a wonderful lady who I think everyone should applaud for, even though you don't know her. I mean, come on, I wouldn't do this for my own profit. You know me better than that. Anyways, it never sold on eBay. So I turned to plan B. There's always a plan B. Valedictorian has bought the spot. So the next 30 seconds are sponsored by Catherine Wolf, and let me tell you just how wonderful she is. In a world of communication, there are few people more powerful than journalists. Bold champions of the question mark, they can go into any situation and come out with a 2-inch column of courier type. At a time when everyone is asking questions, there is no question about Catherine. She is the best. As a touring fan of 80s hair metal bands, she can rock with the hardest rockers. As a consulting firm receptionist, she can answer phones with cat-like reflexes, getting the scoop of the story 0.3 of a second faster than the competition. This is more than enough reason to hire her to do any of your broadcast needs. Are you interested in how to contact her? Well, just look around. Her name will be everywhere. So why bring up student immunity now? It's too late, isn't it? Well, I bring it up for 3 reasons. 1, we still have today. So go out there, ask your edgy questions, eat your 10% off hamburgers, and watch your discount movies. I know I will. 2, I want us to stop pretending we're happy to be graduating. And 3, I want to remind you and myself of how lucky we are all to have ended up at Columbia College. A place that'll let us dig a little deeper, go a little further, and ask crazier questions, with great guidance through it all. Columbia is a school that screams student immunity to newspapers, magazines, and TV stations that keep asking us why we're able to do the things we do. Floating out sharp, talented, creative thinkers year after year. Just look at our alumni website. We ask questions all the way into the CEO's office, and then we lay eggs. Like those lizards that lay eggs in birds' nests, and then the eggs hatch and eat the mother bird that incubated them thinking that they were birds, but they weren't. They were lizards. Take that, dumb bird. Where was I? Ah, yes. Abusing privileges. Every graduating Columbia student has some story about a chance they took in the name of student immunity, and risky "I'm a student" type questions they've asked. Parents, you can ask your students later, or go up to them now if the speech is getting boring. I'll tell you mine, because in a few hours I won't have thousands of people in front of me. I will feel pretty pathetic standing alone in front of the mirror reading it. First, a quick synopsis of my life. For simplicity's sake, I'll say I was born 4 years ago at the age of 18. My cumulative graduating high school GPA was a mind-blowing 1.19. I came to Columbia because I hated being told what to do, but I loved learning from people that knew what they were talking about. Columbia College let me do exactly that. They helped me find myself and pushed me to do something new, different, and powerful. I quickly began doing better work and becoming a dedicated student. I met great people all along the way, and to avoid leaving anyone out, I won't mention anyone except Larry Minsky, a brilliant creative director, a cool guy, and my best mentor this last year. Thanks to Columbia's support, I felt confident to do something insane. I wrote a series of letters to the creative recruiter of one specific agency, letters that could have easily backfired and had me banned from the agency. People told me not to send them, some exact words including, "I would never hire a person that sent this. You're going too far, and I think it's a mistake." But with a solid foundation of knowledge, not only of my field, but also of the people in my field, I did what any Columbia College student would do in the same situation. I sent them anyways. I got the internship, not because of the name of the school, but because of what we learn here. And if it would have backfired, oh well. When you swing for home runs, sometimes you strike out. Besides, in the end, they would have let it go because, you got it, student immunity. One final thought on the topic of risks. They told me to write a valedictorian speech that represented the students. I could have said safe things like, "Tomorrow is the future of today," read Robert Frost poems, and talked about opening doors and boarding up windows. But I didn't. Instead, I talked about this. And maybe it's a huge miss, but what do you want? I'm a student.